Hey guys, I really don't like making videos like this because I prefer to focus on making videos about Japan, but I'm going to make a video about this once, and this will be for these particular people, and then I won't have to talk about it again or answer their comments or do anything, respond to them at all. This will be the response, this video. So, we've made more than 3,000 videos about amazing, great, wonderful things about Japan. And we love making those videos, and some people like watching them. So that's all good. However, we make videos about anything and everything about Japan. So now and again we'll make a video that'll be about something that isn't quite so good. But we make a video about it. So a couple of comments we'll get on videos like that every time is, you're not Japanese, so you don't have a right to criticize Japanese society or Japanese people or Japanese whatever. And if you don't like it, you should leave, right? And the other one we get is, you shouldn't complain. You shouldn't complain. If you don't like it, you should leave. So obviously, the easiest response to those people would be, if you don't like this channel, you should leave. This isn't your channel, so you don't have a right to criticize, so you should leave. So I could say that, couldn't I? That would be the most balanced, reasonable response to what they're saying. It's exactly what they're saying, basically, or what you're saying if I've sent this video to you or given this video to you as a response. If that's what you're saying to me, that I don't have a right to criticize and I don't have a right to say anything and I should leave, well, I'd say the same thing to you. However, I won't say that, because I actually believe in free speech. Providing people are polite and respectful, that I think people having different opinions on topics is a healthy, normal thing that should be encouraged and is wonderful. So on our videos, if you look underneath any of our videos, you will see different opinions on things, providing that they're not insulting or rude or anything like that, because obviously insulting, rude comments don't deserve to be there and will be deleted. But if people can be polite and respectful in their varying opinions, that's fabulous. And we have some great discussions going on in our comment section under our videos. What I'd further say to those people is a couple of things. I don't like talking about myself, but I've got a couple of points to make. One is, everybody in my family in Japan is Japanese, except me. I'm the only one that's not Japanese. Everybody else is Japanese. My wife, my kids, my in-laws, everybody's Japanese. So those people accuse me of not liking Japanese people, or one turkey recently accused me and most of the people commenting of being racist because we were commenting on something about Japan that wasn't positive. So, you know, we get comments like that all the time. So no, I think you'd find that my family would say that I'm not racist. The other one is that, a couple of points. One is, if you just want to see positive things about Japan, when I first started making videos about Japan 12, 14 years ago, there weren't a lot of people, English-speaking people, making YouTube videos in Japan. So at that stage I used to get millions of views and it was too easy, right? But now, everybody who comes to Japan who has a smartphone or a camera makes YouTube videos, right? And the majority of them make all Isn't Japan Wonderful videos, right? So if that's what you like to watch, go and watch them. Because what's really silly is to see a video, you know, the one that's triggered this video was the one that said, talked about cold people in Japan. If you see a video like that and you see the thumbnail, you know it's not going to be a feel-good, positive video. Don't click on it. Go and watch a video made by one of the cool young people who make wonderful videos about how wonderful Japan is. Go watch that. Because it's silly to click on a video that obviously isn't going to be feel-good fuzzy and then complain about it, right? And just to clarify on that too, we don't complain about anything on any of our videos. If you watch our videos and listen to what's being said, the amazing thing is that those people who whine and whinge usually haven't listened to what was said. You know, a common one is that they say, not everybody's like that. I make a point on every video that is about those sort of society topics to say, of course, this is not everybody, this is generalization. Because when you talk about a society, you have to generalize. I can't talk about every 125 million Japanese people individually. It would take too long. So obviously the comments are generalizations and it doesn't apply to everybody, right? It's not a complaint. None of the videos are complaining. You will not find one video on this channel that's complaining. They're also not meant to be criticisms. They're meant to be observations, and they're not supposed to be critical of Japanese people. It's supposed to be observations about Japanese society or Japanese culture. Okay? So I'm thinking, as I'm saying all this, I'm thinking that those people who get on there and complain don't listen to what's said in the videos anyway, and then they're probably not going to listen to this either. But this is my response to those people. If I give you this video and you still whine and complain, that's up to you. But this is my response, and there'll be no further response to any of those criticisms or complaints that, you know, I should leave. Oh yeah, if you don't like it, you should leave. When I put all the things, now you can see from our videos what all the good things about Japan, you can see from the videos the things that are more difficult in Japan. If I put them on a scale, I come to the easy conclusion that for me, this is the best place to live. So I really love living here. So do my Japanese family, right? So I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Now and again, a Japanese person will tell me, you're a foreigner, you should leave. No, sorry neighbour. Sorry neighbour, I'm not leaving. I'm staying here because this is where I want to live and this is where my family want to live. But anywhere we live in the world is not going to be perfect. And we have a right to make observations about that, whether something is good or not good. And we're allowed to, in countries where we have free speech, we're allowed to make observations about that. And those people, interestingly, the irony is, or the hypocrisy is, that those people who tell me that I shouldn't have an opinion, obviously clearly expressing their opinion, and they're telling me that I shouldn't have any sort of negative or critical opinion, and yet clearly that's exactly what they're doing, right? And people have a right to comment, right? But it's hypocritical and ridiculous to sit there and say you shouldn't have an opinion, right? It's not, interestingly too, usually those people aren't disagreeing with what I said. The video that was saying that, talking about cold people in Japan, I got a bunch of non-Japanese people and a bunch of Japanese people lost their minds. The Japanese ones all left their comments in Japanese, which means they probably watched that video using Google Translate anyway, so they probably didn't get the full story anyway. But then a lot of those guys were saying, if you don't like it, you should leave. Sorry guys, the bit of bad language slipped out. So yeah, so quite often, like on that cold people video, there was some Japanese people and some non-Japanese people saying, you know, if you don't like it, you should leave. But they weren't saying that the topic of the video was wrong. They weren't saying, oh, there's no cold people in Japan. They weren't saying that at all, you know. And of course, you know, we're not going to get into that topic right now, but obviously if you live in Japan all your life, it's all going to seem normal to you, so they wouldn't get the criticism anyway. But this is often the case too. On those videos, that people aren't often, that they don't usually say you're wrong. Sometimes they do, but usually they don't say you're wrong. And in that case, they weren't saying you're wrong, Japanese people are warm and loving. They weren't saying that. What they were saying is you don't have a right to criticize. So, and that's often the case. They're not disagreeing with what I'm saying. They're just saying I don't have a right to say it, right? Which is interesting, isn't it? You know? So, and on that too, I think if we're talking about the topic, we have a right to say whatever we want. So if I say that in Japan it's quite common, as those of you saw that video, that it's quite common that, you know, people's behaviour can be quite cold to other people. If someone disagrees with that and says, no, I think Japanese people are warm and loving people, that's fine. That's fine. But usually what they do is that particular type of person, they don't actually talk about the topic. They don't actually debate the topic. That what they're saying is, I don't have a right to say it. Because I'm not Japanese, I don't have a right to say it. Or often too, they're not saying it's just because I'm not Japanese. Often they just don't think people have a right to say anything negative about Japan, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. What country in the world are we not allowed to say anything negative about without people losing their minds? So anyway, probably the people who whine and complain have probably stopped listening anyway, and they're already leaving their bitchy comments. But this is my response to those people, and there won't be any further response. I'm not going to waste any time or bad vibes or anything else on dealing with those people. This will be the video response to those people who say that stuff. And then if they listen to this and understand, that's wonderful. If they don't and they still have the same opinion, that's fine too. No problem. As long as their responses are polite. The YouTube terms of service say that rudeness and abuse is not to be tolerated, right? It's against the terms of use, and it's also against our normal civilized way of communicating. So if people are rude and abusive in their comments might be deleted and they might be blocked from the channel, because that's the way it works, right? And probably don't need to be here anyway. The other people who do appreciate the fact that we draw the whole picture, you know, our thinking is, if we make videos only about the positive stuff, we're sort of giving the wrong impression. We're not giving an accurate image of Japan. You know, anything, any topic, not just Japan, any topic, if you only talk about the positives of anything, you're not giving the full picture, are you? That's not really reporting. My favorite kind of video I like to watch is narration. You know, not narrations, but documentaries. And I like documentaries that really show the reality of things, you know, and that's what I'm aiming for with this. We don't stop to think if a video is going to be popular or unpopular, or if it's positive or negative. We see something, we think it's of interest, we make a video. We don't stop to think about whether we're going to get unhappy people. We're aware that we will, of some of these topics. We know that we will get whiners and so on, but that doesn't stop us making the video, because we've said we're going to make videos about anything and everything about Japan, and that's what the people who like what we do want us to continue doing, and we get told that all the time. Our patrons and our supporters often say, keep doing what you're doing, and that encourages us to keep going. There's no alternative for us. We're not going to stop making videos about things because someone's not going to like it. We're going to keep making our observations. If you disagree with our observations, that's fine, but we're going to keep making them. On that too, if you want us to keep making them, we need more patrons and PayPal supporters and coffee supporters, because we're constantly turning over. People are often leaving, and so we're always in need of them. So if you'd like what we do and you want us to continue what we do and want to see the whole picture about Japan, please, there's a link under every video to Patreon and PayPal and Coffee, so please support us on there. And for those of you who don't want to watch, stop watching. More videos coming soon.